I'm Julie Samaco with Southern Charm Wreaths, where we make beautiful wreaths and teach you how to make and sell them. So in this video, we're going to be decorating our Christmas tree. This is a tabletop Christmas tree though, not the huge tall ones that you put in the house, okay? But for now, let's get started. All right, so we're going to be decorating this Christmas tree. So this is, a tabletop Christmas tree. I wanted to show you. It came wrapped in burlap, like this. And it just came wrapped in burlap, okay? And I purchased this one wholesale, but my gosh, they have these everywhere, don't they? They have these everywhere. Let's take that off. All right, so what I'm going to do is I remove the burlap, which you can save if you want, and then I'm going to remove the bottom. So this one is really a heavy piece of concrete, and it just twisted off. If you've got a plastic piece, you can just untwist it, and also sometimes you have those stands, you just pull them off. So I wanted to reveal as much of the stake as I can. So let me see if I can pull some of this stuff off right here. Just want to get as much stake as I possibly can showing. This is what I'm trying to reveal, some of this. Don't necessarily want to take off all of this twine because then it might fall apart, right? So we got to just be careful with that. So let me trim these off. Okay. And now what I want to do is create and fix the container. So this container can go, you can do any kind of container. You could do metal buckets, pots, whatever you might have. I found this really cute container from Carolina Pottery, and this is the one I'm going to use. Isn't it cute? So it sets down, and it looks like a little snowman hat. So this is the container that I'm going to use for this tree. I thought it was really cute, little rustic container. And what I've done is I went ahead and weighted it with, what do you call those? The aquarium rocks. I'm like, what are those things called? Aquarium rocks. So I put some aquarium rocks in the bottom of here, and then I put a bunch of hot glue. And then I've also added one piece of styrofoam right here, okay? So this one piece of styrofoam is going to elevate it and lift it up. Let's see, we've got to that in here. I'm just looking at it. I'm making sure that it's going to be pretty heavy. And now what I want to do is put another piece of foam on top of it, okay? So I've cut this foam that I'm going to now start to score just a bit. So that it fits inside of here. I think that's going to be good. Okay. So we've got our foam. We're going to put it in here. I'm going to get my wooden floral pick ready. All right, so if you don't have these long wooden floral picks, what you can use is skewers. Wooden skewers that you put on the grill. So you could use that if you want. So Connie's asking why not use the concrete, and you absolutely could. I was just worried that it wouldn't, I wouldn't be able to get it to stick in enough. So you could absolutely use this. Probably put some Gorilla Glue down into the pan and then added styrofoam on top of that. You probably could do that, but I just didn't want to take that chance. So I knew this was going to work because this is the way I've done it all the whole time. But absolutely experiment and see if that's going to work for you. All right, so we're going to put this on top of here. So I'm going to just dish out some of this hot glue and slap it on top of my foam. I am not using dry desert foam. I'm using actual styrofoam. This is going to be a lot sturdier for this heavy Christmas tree. All right, so now we're going to push down on here and go ahead and insert our wooden floral picks. So I'm putting the floral pick in from one foam to the next. Then we're just going to trim those off. That should be good. All right, so we've gotten the container prepped, okay? So we've got 2 pieces of foam. What we can do here is cover things up. So you can use fake snow, you can use batting, you can use, I'm looking around thinking silk flower leaves, you know, other greenery, whatever you want to do to cover this up, you can use. I'm going to use some of this not sheet moss, what is this? Not sheet, it is, not reindeer moss. I'm drawing a blank, you guys. Spanish moss. All right, so I'm going to put some Spanish moss on top of here. Spread this out. Woo! It is a messy project. You know, before I do this, let me go ahead and add the tree because I have a feeling I'm going to have an issue adding the tree because I've got to make a big hole for it. Let me find my, all right, so we're going to want to put the tree right down in the center, right there, but I need to go several inches, okay? So I'm going to use my awl and poke around, and now I'm also going to try to cut just a little bit of a hole out. I don't want to do too much. Just maybe a little bit bigger. I'm going to put glue in this hole. Hopefully, y'all, this is going to work. I'm thinking positive. I'm thinking positive. I'm going to put a lot of glue in this hole. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to stuff this down in there, and I want to go as far in as I possibly can. So let me put this down on the ground and push with all my force. My husband's probably going, "What are you yelling about?" Okay. Now that we've got that done, do you see how deep it is? I wanted it in as deep as possible. All right. Now we could add some of this foam. I mean moss, Spanish moss. This is just to cover up the styrofoam. Okay, so let's let that dry. Now, you know what I found is this really cool snow blast from a Design Master. I wanted to try to use some of this on the moss just so that it wasn't so green. Does that make sense? All right, so this is, going to put this foam, just spray this. I'm just going to do a little quick spray on the moss, just a little bit, because it's going to just give that little snowy effect. I just want to be careful not to pick it up by the tree because it's still drying. Do you see the little snow effect that we've got going on? And I'm doing it over the trash can. All right, so this was, again, I laid my top in the glue. There we go. But this was the Snow Blast by Design Master, which I love the Design Master products. You can use them to spray your florals, spray your foam, all of that fun stuff. All right, so let's let this dry just a little bit before we get started, okay? Can you put the, she's asking if we could put the Snow Blast on the tree too. Absolutely you can. I put it on my greenery. I'm looking to see if I've done any. I like to put it on your greenery too. So for example, let's say you've got a lot of spring boxwood, right, from the spring, and you want to use it in the Christmas or winter months. You could just do some of this Snow Blaster on the edges or the tips of it, and it definitely gives a little snowy effect to that spring piece, okay? All right, so let's see. Keep asking your questions. I love it. Well, while this is drying, let's go ahead and do a bow, because I know we're going to put a bow on here eventually. So we could go ahead and do a little bow at the top. All right, so I'm just going to pull off some long ribbon streamers. So this is going to be about 1.5 yards streamer. And then I'm going to just start making my bow loops. So let's put this out of the way. All right, so let's see. I think I want that. All right, so this is going to be the size. I'm going to measure it out for you guys, 10 inches. All right, so that means it's a 5-inch loop, okay? So you could twist right there. And I always do my little rabbit ears to make sure that I can have the right length. And then we'll do another one. The same length there. Twist. I'm just going to measure before I tie this off to make sure it's the size that I want. So I'm going to lay it right up here on the top. I think this is a little bit big, okay? So this is how I do it, you guys. This is exactly how I do it. So this was 10 inches. Now I'm going to just go to 8 and do the same thing. I'm sure you guys creating or you do the same thing. You get it going, you're like, not what I wanted. Okay, let's do one more loop. So if I do a bow on either side of here, I don't want it to be real fat and thick. So what you almost could do are 3 and 3 or 4 and 4. So let's do that. We'll do 4 on either side. Thanks for bearing with me while I work through this with in my head. Okay, we'll do that. And I'll grab my wire. And twist. So we ended up with 8-inch, so a 4-inch loop with only 4 loops. So what I'm thinking is I'll just do this on both sides of the tree. So let's do one more. And then hopefully our tree will be dried enough where we can start to finish it. You guys, you could do these trees for all different seasons. So you could do an Easter tree, a Valentine's tree, a spring tree. So don't think you only do Christmas trees, okay? And if you have somebody who is in a nursing home, this would be a cute tree to put in a nursing home, don't you think? So I've got the Christmas music playing in the other room. All right, we've got our bows. Now let me just check on our tree. That snow is probably going to need a little more time to dry. We're moving forward. I'm going to go ahead and fluff the tree, just like any tree you're decorating with at home. You want to make sure to fluff it. Give it some shape. You can use any color combination that you want. So if you've got, you know, lime green and red as your decor, you can use that. All white and red. What colors are you decorating with this season, this holiday, this Christmas? Are you doing traditional? I know some of you like to do the black, or even navy has been trending this year. Of course, the rose gold is real popular. What colors are you guys using? Just trying to give this some shape. I think we're there. Okay, so we've got the shape down. What I want to do now is just add in a few pieces of greenery. Let me get my bow before they fall. All right, so we've got some other greenery I want to use. We've got some plastic greenery, which I love. Plastic, because plastic does not run, does not get, I'm going to pull these off. It's not plastic, you know, like back in the day when the plastic used to look like aquarium plants. It's definitely gotten better. So I'm a big fan of plastic. Just yanking these off. These look just like a long needle pine. I use that bush for spring, believe it or not. But it works for winter because it just looks like a pine. So what we can do is get this out of the way. We're going to go ahead and hot glue these into the tree. And I think it'll be better whenever I do decorations like an arrangement or something. I like to put it on a Lazy Susan so that I can just twirl it around. Get it closer to my mat. All right, I got this green. Somebody's asking where I got this greenery from. I got this greenery from Wholesaler. Sims Pottery is where I got this one. Do you see I'm just going to start hot gluing some of this greenery in just to fill in, try not to burn myself, just to fill in a little bit where I see a lot of the base or the spine of the tree. Once you start making these little trees, you're going to love them. And typically when I do a lot, say for a shop or a large order that I might have to fill, I do them in batches. So for example, I'll put an assembly line together. I'll do all of the bases, and then I'll come in and do all of the greening, and then I'll do all of the florals and ribbon last, and you know, things like that. So I just do sort of an assembly line to speed up the making process. I'm sure you Etsy shop owners know exactly what I'm talking about. So when I design, I also look while I'm designing, and I try to be like those superheroes. That's all the only way I can think of it. You know, those superheroes who have that special vision that they can like see the outline of the rain or see the outline of one object, and then everything else disappears in their vision. So that's sort of what I'm doing here. So I'm looking, and I'm trying to look at only the piece that I'm adding. So only the greenery, so that I can see where I might want to add some more. This helps to do an even dispersion. A couple more pieces and then we'll be done. So it's probably hard to see what I'm doing on screen because the green is almost so similar, but that just know that I'm adding in more greenery. So this is just going to fill it up a little bit more. Okay, I got one more piece. Where am I going to put you? Okay, so we've got this added, the green. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this greenery. So this is a different texture and it's a different color. It's more of a frosted green. I got this one from Michael's. Let's see if we're going to keep some long and some short. I just love adding different greenery because it gives different textures. Let's do this one long. And then your eye. It breaks up the green too. If you put in a different color, very pleasing to the eye. All right, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to do some longer pieces at the bottom. So if you wanted to do this Christmas tree with a larger arrangement, you absolutely could. So imagine if you did this on a larger scale container where the tree is just off-centered and then you've got this lovely floral arrangement, or maybe you've got an elf or something like that over there. So you could do this same thing but just on a different scale. Hi, Kathy. So as I move up the tree, I'm going to try to do a little zigzag. Back and forth, and the pieces are going to start to get a little smaller. Can you see on the camera that it's getting filled out anymore? Maybe you want to roll it around another turn. So for example, we've added some in here and some in there. Oh goodness, Jasper. Scared me. Let's cut some more. All right, so we've got these pine cones too we could use. Y'all, sometimes I feel like I've got the best job in the whole world. I get to sit here all day and play with flowers. Any of you other wreath makers out there feel like that? Just turn the Christmas music on and then you just start playing with flowers. Before you know it, you've got something amazing made to make the world prettier. All right. Yep. If you're not sure where to put something before you glue it, you could place it up there and then decide. I don't know if you could tell, but this is starting to get very thick. A lot thicker than what we had before. I'm just scanning, I'm doing my Spidey scan with my eyes. Remember I told you? Just so that we could see where we might want this last piece. Isn't it pretty? So far so good, y'all. We're rocking it. Okay. The other pieces that we have are other frosted, and then we've got this holly. I purchased this holly from Carolina Pottery, so I'm going to use this. I think I'm going to pull some of these off. This is going to be really cute. So you could put this on, we already talked about a nursing home. You know, if you have a nursing home, this would be pretty if you wanted to do the colors of a wedding or to decorate for a wedding. If anybody's having, knows anyone getting married, Christmas weddings are huge here in the South. Let's do one more. Just grabbing the longer pieces that I made. I'm going to put these on the bottom. Oh, great for a dorm room. Good call, Miss Connie. I've already got all 6 of my trees up. I did say 6. This is the first year we've ever done that many. Okay. So we've gone pretty much around the bottom with some of the holly, and now I can just disperse the smaller pieces throughout. So just like a regular Christmas tree, think of the diamond. You know, you want to go from, you know, triangle to triangle. So I'm just going to zigzag it back and forth up the tree. You see how I just did a zigzag back and forth up the tree? And we'll do this side. This is when I start fighting with the glue strings. Get out of there. This would be cute for kitchen. You could do little utensils or something, serving spoons, little mini Santa Clauses. Depends on the size. If you wanted to add lights, you could do that. Probably would add fairy lights last, because this is a smaller tree. So the fairy lights are going to just be a little bit smaller, real dainty. ahead and put this guy at the top. Let's see, where is the back? There, that would be the back, okay. So you can see how we've added just some more of the greenery. It's starting to fill out, getting the different textures. Just add some more greenery from, I think this is from Michael's. It's got frosty, glittery pieces. Just a couple. I love the different texture of this. So this is more spiky. Just need to be careful not to lose the shape of the tree. Okay. Okay, I think I'm done with the greenery. All right, so let's see. Can you see? Maybe a spot right there. Cute. Okay, so the flowers that I have, you could use hydrangeas, you could use, you know, whatever you find. I think these would look really pretty too. They're little dainty, what are these called? Snowballs? I might still use those. I'm going to try to incorporate some of these flowers. I purchased this wholesale from Select Artificials. And I think these really pretty, what are these, garden roses, I guess, would be pretty inside the base of the tree. We've only got 3. I don't want to, you know, use more than one bush. So I'm going to try to space these out evenly. And then we've got all of these other pieces. So we've got, these have little magnolia flowers in different stages. So we've got some buds. I used this in a floral arrangement in my Wreath of the Month club, and I loved it. So we've cut them short, but I also have all this greenery and the leaves that I could use if I need to. I'm just going to open these up like we do a real flower and figure out where I'm going to place these. Okay, so one can go down in there. I just think that's cute. Let's see, we could put one right in here. We could do one right here. So now that I like that, I'm going to go ahead and glue this in. I think I'm going to pull some of the filler out. Just pull one piece out. And we'll probably need to pull the tag off. There. Whoop, don't get burned. So can you see that we've just nestled the floral in, and the eye takes you deep down into the arrangement. All right, so now I'm going to just look at all of sort these out. Let's look at our magnolia stems. Okay, we've got these, and then we've got some smaller ones. So I'm going to just start adding these in. These are so pretty. Aren't these beautiful? Just dainty little magnolia leaves of flowers, magnolia flowers. So if you wanted to use things like ornaments, you know, you could use that. You don't have to just use florals. But I just think that that's a little different. You know, a floral tree. Okay, where am I going to put this? I'm going to put it right here. So I'm just evenly dispersing color now. Okay, so you can see that we've added all of the magnolias. And then we've got these green, what are these? I'm not sure what these would be. Let's just call them green flowers. Just a little lime green flower. All right, and now we've got our little filler pieces. We're going to just put those in. So I'm just looking for holes or anywhere there might be just a dark spot. Starting to fill up. So their question is, why did we just put the red on the bottom? Well, I only had 3 flowers, and I could have opened up another, floral bush if I wanted and added more, but I think the flower is just too big. I mean, they probably would have worked fine in the middle, but not up here. And so I just didn't want to open up another floral bush. Okay, so now I'm looking for one more last piece of this filler. Should I put it at the top? No, I think I'm gonna put it right. Actually, I might save it. I'll put it in the bow, if we do the bow. All right, so let's just save that piece too. So let me just take a look at the bow and see what that's going to look like. All right, I'm going to just stand back. Sometimes you can see things a little bit better when you just stand back. Pull some branches down. Cute, cute, cute. Let's take a look at the bow and see what that's going to look like. Again, I do have these other white flowers that I could use, but I think we're doing good. I don't know if we're going to need them. So if I did a bow and put it right here. Let's see if I can find the front. Okay. So let's try to do one on the other side. I purchased the Lazy Susan from my Amazon shop. Alright, what I'm going to do is instead of taking the V and wrapping it around the stem, I'm just going to make one long stem and then twirl it around. I put the lights on last because they're real dainty. You know, the fairy lights are really dainty and they never last. And that way I'll be able to take them off without messing up the tree and replace them next year if I need to. Alright, so now I'm just looking at this bow to see if I like it. I think it's cute. Right, and then we're going to just stick these ribbon streamers down deep. Going to see if I can tuck these little ribbon pieces inside of the branches. This would be cute for a desk, I think. If you wanted to make one for your desk at work, wouldn't that look cute? Or to give a boss, if you want to brown nose a little bit. What y'all think? I think I'm going to take this one down just a tad bit. You could leave the ribbon off if you wanted. looks cute. Just need to make sure that this is wired on enough. There, I think that's better. And remember those little pieces that we have? These little extra pieces, I'm just going to hot glue these into the top of the bow a little bit. Oops, try to. Guy's not wanting to stay. There. Okay. I think this is cute. Thumbs up, heart. Are you liking this? If you're liking it, share the video, please. That'd be awesome. Let's see. All right, the other thing we're going to do is add a few pieces of this. This is what I like to call wild. I got this from Carolina Pottery, and it's just a little bit. It's gonna make everything pop out just a little bit. In other words, this is gonna give this a little bit more of a whimsical, not whimsical, but a natural look. Cut this a little shorter. At any point in this video, when you're making your own, you could stop. Let's see how I want this to go. It's just adding another layer. I hope I'm inspiring you to try something new, something you might not have thought to do. So, you know, if we wanted to put pine cones in, we could definitely put that in. There is really no right or wrong way. Just be creative. Okay, so we've got one there. I'm going to put one down here. So do you see where I've added it? Just right here. I've added a piece right there, and I've added a piece right there. So sometimes it's hard to see it on camera, but what it's doing is it's just giving another layer of texture. This one out. Let's start over. Let's angle this baby down. Okay, I've got one little piece. I'm just going to put it down here at the bottom. I think we're done, you guys. So I think this is our finished product. So let me put the base on. All right, so let's see if I can find the front. So he's sitting in a little snowman hat. How adorable is this? I hope you guys learned some things. I hope I inspired you to be, you know, try things differently. Don't be afraid to use the florals in your trees, even if they're the little tabletop trees. Now here is where I could go in and add some lights, but I don't have any. I would add the little delicate fairy lights. So if you guys enjoy these tutorials, I would love to have you inside of our Wreath Making of the Month Club, where we do projects like this. We do wreaths, swags, floral arrangements. We talk about color and design, dimension and depth. We talk about all the different textures. I'm going to put the link here, right here. But I want to thank everybody for joining me, and I just want you to know that I'm so thankful for you. You are such a blessing to me. I hope I'm a blessing to you. I hope I inspire you. I am self-taught. I got started in my business because I wanted pretty things for my home, and I didn't want to pay the designer prices. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. And so I started doing this on my own just to decorate my own home for the holidays. And that's how I got started. Then I started teaching people what I've learned over the years, and is the business making right there. Learning how to do these projects so that I could save money for my own home. And then I started selling them online to make money for my family. And then I started teaching people how to make these items, wreaths and swags and garlands, and then also how to sell them online. So I do a little bit of everything. I teach how to make and also how to sell them. So I hope you found this useful. All right, you guys, that's the tutorial. I hope y'all have a great rest of the day. And if I don't see you by the end of the weekend, have a great weekend. But I hope I see you then. Okay, bye.